Hello, can you hear me? Hi, sweetie. Um, okay. So we'll start in 1 minute. We'll start in 1 minute. 1 second. Okay. So yes, let's start. Okay. So as always, keep hi Setu. So hi Narmada. So keep replying as always. So it's a what you call MTP one discussion. 1 second. So, good evening, buddies. We have already completed full RTP discussion. We have completed MTP2 MCQ discussion. This is your MTP1. Okay, for the upcoming May 26 exams. In this session, we are going to discuss first mainly the MCQs. So, as you're aware, MCQs are for 30 marks, and let's rush as if we are doing in the examination. So, maximum you should spend 30 minutes in the exam. So, let's also try to finish in 30 minutes. So, keep replying. Let's start. Okay. So, first, you saw the case scenario. In the case scenario, it's a very big case scenario. As always, go to the questions first. Now read the question. What the question says. In the above case scenario of Nova Engineering Limited has clarified that assignment would be carried out in accordance with the standards on auditing which are applicable. Based on the engagement partner's statement, which of the following engagements would be most appropriately fall within the scope of standards in the present context? See, they are asking which of the following would fall in the scope of the standards as prescribed. Okay. So here, what are you up to? See, can you go back and read what kind of engagement you are appointed for the question one? You are appointed as what? You have been appointed as the statutory auditors of Nova Limited. During the year, the engagement partner and the team would conduct in accordance with standards on auditing applicable for the audit of historical financial. This is audit which is done as per essay for historical financial. They are asking the scope. So can you say examinations of projections, certification of future cost estimates, review of internal control, audit of FS, which would fall within the scope? Can you reply? Is it AR, BR, CR, DR? Which will fall within the scope of audit? Answer is, see, it is a clearly an audit engagement. So answer is, that's right. It is D. Now wait. Examination of projections. Can we revise? The examination of projections will fall when it is a what engagement? SAE, assurance. So this is not assurance. They have clearly said it is a audit. Review of internal control. All these, review will happen. We won't give an assurance. Here, since it is audit, it is D. D for dog. Very correct. Now, can we go to the next one? Second one. Okay. In planning, meeting described in the case scenario, the engagement partner first established the strategy and then instructed the team to develop a detailed plan after obtaining knowledge about the business model and the process. Now, which standard came to your mind? Strategy, plan. Which standard came to your mind? Essay. 300. Strategy, plan. In the context, primary reasons for obtaining knowledge before developing the plan is. What is the primary reason for obtaining the knowledge? To enable the auditor to design audit procedures, to determine whether new revenue system complies with accounting standards, replace the need for performing the RAP, ensure team uses minimum possible audit resources. Can you say? You might think more than one answer is correct, but they are asking what is the primary reason, the main reason. See, we have been studying the audit of cinema, hotel, hospital, education, etc. In chapter number 9. For cinema theater, you check the ticket sale advertisement. For the hotel, you check the kitchen order ticket, like that, hall booking, etc. So once you understand about the business, then only you can decide what to be carried out. So the primary reason of deciding or understanding the business is to decide what audit procedure. So answer is A. See, accounting standard primarily responsibility of management, not ours. We have to check compliance. Risk assessment procedure has to be done in planning phase also, not this. Resources is mainly in strategy or plan ada. Resources is mainly done in strategy. Here they are asking about the plan. So not the other three. So always when you study like this, when you study in this particular month, why it is not other three option, why it is A. So more concept will go in your mind. But if 1 and 2 clear, can we go to 3? Okay, so this is particularly essay 200, or we can say it is chapter 1 question. This is chapter 2, which is essay 300. Now, next. In the case scenario, the audit team identified the new revenue recognition system could affect several items in FS simultaneously. Inventory valuation, revenue transaction involved specific risk relating to particular transactions and balances. So it's talking about some kind of risk. Now, based on engagement partner's explanation, which of the following classifies the risk? See guys, risk assessment. Which essay came to your mind? Hello, risk assessment, risk assessment. Risk assessment is essay 315. Chapter 3. In chapter 3, we learned risk happens in how many levels? I'm not asking what are the components of audit risk. I did not ask. I asked you risk happens in how many levels? Risk happens in 2 levels. What are the 2 levels? Either overall FS or assertion level in essay 315. Now, in this question, they are asking both risk will affect financial statements. Both risk will affect assertion level. First risk will affect financial, second risk will affect assertion. First risk will affect assertion, second risk will affect financial. You want to try? I will give you 10 seconds time. Can you say whether it is A, B, C, D? Can you reply? See, the first what they said, the revenue recognition system could affect several items in FS simultaneously, meaning this particular will not only affect account balance, class of transaction, disclosure. It will affect the overall FS, means it will affect the FS as a whole. Whereas second risk is only with respect to inventory valuation, meaning it is a specific risk which affects only particular. meaning this will affect only assertion level. First will affect the entire FS, second will affect the assertion level. So can you say which is the option which says, first says both will affect full FS? No, this is only specific. Second says both will affect only specific assertion. First risk affects entire FS. C. First risk is full FS. Yes. Second risk is assertion. Yeah. So answer is C. Correct, Meenakshi. Setu, you are also right. In class, I used to say one example. If there is a going, I don't know how many of you remember, going concern, if there is a risk, it affects the overall FS. Whereas if there is a risk in traveling expense, it affects only the um, class of transaction. Same way, certain risk will affect full FS, certain risk will affect only assertion. Can I get a green signal? Hello, for the first case scenario. So look at that. First question, chapter 1, second question, chapter 2, and third question, chapter 3. Wow. If you give me a green signal, we can go to next case study. Ready? Yes. Now ISA has been putting MCQs, even if you see in the MTP2, MCQs relating to chapter number 9. Earlier, they had asked very less in chapter 9. What is chapter 9, guys? Different entities, cinema, hotel, government, cooperative. Okay, let it be there. Let's directly go to the question, then read back. Okay, can you read? Okay. Based on the given facts, which of the following best explains implication of difference between class registers of 620 students and fee registers of 590? I think you can go up and read the case study. Where is it? Here. For question number 4, you can read this. While reviewing the student fee records for the July-September, auditor compared class registers with fee register of students. Class register showed 620 students, whereas students register showed only 590. Further, it revealed receipts total 12,40,000, whereas it is only 11,90,000. So, guys, what would have occurred in the Narana Kana? In happen pannalam? Like, what would have happened? See, actually, there are 620 students physically in class. Actually, whereas in the register only 590 were entered. As a result, what would have happened? Fee demands may not have been raised for 30. 30 means that difference, 620 minus 590. Hostel income may be understated. So students fee register. Third, difference indicates advance collected from fees. How advance? Difference represent fees for late payment, fines, etc. See, which is the best option out of this? Since there is a 30 students which have been omitted. Okay. Class there are 620 class register, whereas in the student register there is only 590. So 30 students have been omitted. If 30 students is omitted, which is the best option out of this? Answer is, if 30 is not there in student register, from 30 they would not have demanded the fees. So answer is A. See, in that chapter we say now, fees collected should be compared with the student fee register. Same. So answer is A. Okay, next. During the audit of Saraswati University, the auditor estimated hostel income on 200 rooms on 80% occupancy rate at monthly of 6,000. The recorded hostel income was found materially higher than auditor's estimate. See, they are calculating 200 rooms monthly 6,000 fees for 200 rooms, into 80% occupancy into 12 months. So auditor thought this much will come, but actual was more. See, more than auditor's estimate. See, they would have said here. Question number 5. 200 rooms, 80%, 6,000. However, recorded was 1.8. If you multiply, this will be one below 1.8, but actual was 1.8 crores. So what auditor would do? Accept the recorded since it is supported by evidence. We don't accept like that. Adjust the estimate to match the recorded income if minor difference. This is in crores. It's not minor. Conclude that income is overstated solely based on analytical comparison. Investigate the variance by examining the records, occupancy assumptions, perform additional procedure. Which is the correct option? Can you say? Answer is, we study in essay 520. Whenever there is a deviation or fluctuation, auditor shall perform additional audit procedure, inquiry with the management. He will perform further procedure. He will investigate. So here there is a difference. So what he will do, he will investigate. So the answer is, um, Meenakshi, you can hear, right? Sweetie, Setu, yeah. Okay, fine. So the answer is D. You remember essay 520, analytical procedure? In that we say you have to investigate, you have to inquiry with the management, like that. Okay. Can we go to the next one? 6. Where is 6? Which of the following best describes analytical procedure applied by the auditor to evaluate the hostel income? Trend analysis, reasonable test, verification of hostel fee, test of control. They say about analytical procedure. Here we are checking number of rooms occupied. How many rooms? 200 rooms occupied to the hostel fees. We are checking the non-financial. Number of rooms is non-financial and hostel fees is financial. So for 200 rooms, 1.8 crore. From where? Here, 1.8 crore is not reasonable. So which technique is he using? Answer is it rent, reasonableness, or checking with cash book? See, hostel receipt checking with cash book is test of detail. This is test of control. They are asking analytical. So it is either A or B. Trend means previous year. Here it is reasonableness. Again, essay 520. Are you clear? Okay. Now, last question of that particular case study. With reference to the given facts, which aspects of examining expense is primarily affected when 75,000 spent on air conditioner is recorded as repairs and maintenance? In fact, you need not even read case study, but my suggestion is for the exam, don't take risk. Please go and read the case study. Okay. So what happened? 75,000 was spent on purchase of air condition, but they have recorded as repairs and maintenance. So expenditure pertaining to current year audit. See, they are not doing cut off. Whether expenses current year, no. Whether expenses supported by valid documents, are they checking the occurrence? No. Whether expenses qualified as revenue and not capital. Whether expenses related to activities. What happened? Correct. See, air conditioner should have been capital, but they record as repairs. So answer is C. So where you learn, see in chapter number 3, they say misstatement. Examples of misstatement, fake purchases, revenue treated as capital. Chapter number 3, they say examples of misstatements. It's also related to essay 450. All these not needed, I'm just saying. See, this is actually cut off, whether it is pertain to current year. Valid document, whether it has occurred. Valid, not fake, occurrence. Okay. Whether it is related to university's activities, nothing related to that. This is revenue and capital. Can you reply whether case study 2 is okay? Come on, life is a race, run, run, run. If case 2 is okay, can you say case 3? Okay, sweetie. Missed you today morning, I guess, sweetie. Okay, case 3. See, they are saying a lot of things, by reading itself. CC, drawing power, computation. So something related to bank audit. Okay. So let's directly go to the question. Considering the facts given in the case regarding the relationship between outstanding balance in CC and drawing power determined by branch, how auditor should evaluate status on the reporting date? I think for this question 8, we can go back and read the case. And can you reply? Sanctioned limit. How much is the sanctioned limit? 10 crore. Okay. On the basis of the stock statement, bank computes the drawing power. During the branch audit, as on 31st, drawing power is computed at 8.2 crore. So 8.2 crore is drawing power. Sanction limit is 10 crore. Here we said 10 crore. Here. The outstanding balance in CC as on 31st March is 8.6 crore. Can you say which particular point is applicable over here? Further, the outstanding balance has been continuously more than drawing power for more than 90 days as on balance sheet date. And in bank audit, there is a point called as for cash credit overdraft. There is a point called as out of order. In cash credit or overdraft, they say it should not exceed. Hello, it should not exceed what? Drawing power or sanction limit, whichever is lower. Here it exceeds the drawing power. Drawing power is 8.2, but 8.6 it is outstanding. That too for more than 90 days. So what's the answer? Can you read? The account is regular. No. The account should be treated as out of order since the balance exceeds the drawing power. That should be the answer, but wait. The account is regular. No. The account cannot be evaluated until it is finalized. Nothing like that. It is out of order. Are you clear? That's right. It is option B. For this question number 8, this paragraph is relevant. Can we go to question 9? Okay. While evaluating security position of CC as on the reporting date, the auditor noted that drawing power was computed using stock information that was not contemporaneous on the reporting date, and borrowing on the account were already close to be determined based on primary security. Now, what has happened? Can you read? You can read this para. See? While reviewing the borrower's record, the auditor compared the stock value appeared in the audited FS and value reported. There is a significant difference between this. Further, it showed that inventory worth 2 crore, which was considered by the bank for drawing power, were lying in the third party. It has not obtained any confirmation. See, you know drawing power, how they calculate? Drawing power is dash plus dash. Stock plus, stock plus what? Debtors. Here, stock, there is so much of mismatch, missing information. Bank has calculated based on that information. That's right. Stock plus debtors is drawing power adjusted by margin. So, which of the following conclusion is most appropriate? There was a lot of issues in the stock. The borrowing position may not be reliable since it is based on the outdated information. Stock and debtors is primary security for CC. The account should be treated as regular because sanction limit is not exceeded. See, 10 crore is sanction limit, it is not exceeded, but still, whichever is lower, no. Drawing power computation can be accepted since borrower submitted stock statement earlier in the year. See, stock statement should be submitted regularly. You remember Caro clause 2, quarterly or monthly stock statement should be matching with the books. Auditor should rely on the audited FS. So from the bank point of view, which is the most appropriate, guys? It's not B. A or C or D or. Answer is, by applying the common sense and logic, answer is A. Data is not reliable. Correct. Correct. Next. During the audit, auditor noted that portion of inventory considered while determining drawing power was stated to be lying at the third-party warehouse and observed difference. Considering the facts, which of the following procedure most effectively address the risk of auditor? See, in this case, we read na 2 crore, it is lying at the third party warehouse. So, what should be the most effective procedure to address risk? Rely on the stock statement submitted, accept representation. See, as per SA 580, written representation is not absolute, not sufficient and appropriate, it's only corroborative, that you cannot accept. Obtain confirmation from the third party, restrict verification to purchase invoice. See, we learn in SA 500, external confirmation is more reliable. Whenever there is risk is high, you go for more confirmation. You cannot rely, you cannot restrict. Since risk is high, already there is a mismatch, you obtain confirmation from third party. Can we go to next one? Okay. The auditor accumulated the difference identified between the stock reported to the bank and stock appearing in audited FS and noted aggregate misstatement was approaching materiality. Management, however, decided not to make the adjustment. In the light, what auditors primarily consider in evaluating implications? See, there is a lot of issues there. So what auditor should primarily do? They are asking in this case. Already we said now a lot of issues. Conclude. FSR misstated without further procedure. Evaluate whether uncorrected misstatement materially or aggregate. Consider its implication. See, you have to do further procedure, so it's not A. Accept management explanation. As I told you, management explanation you cannot accept, then why audit? Ignore misstatement since it does not exceed materiality threshold. So is it B or D? Can you say? See, we say in essay 450 evaluation, you have to see whether individually or in aggregate. In materiality 320, we say individually or in aggregate. You remember performance materiality, you should see both individually and in aggregate. So 11th one answer is B for boy. Okay, last question in the case study. Okay. During discussions, the bank manager suggested the auditor to avoid reporting the irregularities so that borrower's banking relationship is not affected. Considering the situation, which of the following ethical principles should be primarily guide auditor's response? The integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional behavior, professional competence. See, bank manager is saying to give a false information. Since if you report this, client relationship will be affected. If you agree to the bank manager, is it confidentiality? Are you reporting to the public? No. Behavior mean, is it disrepute? No. You don't lack skill? No. But integrity, why you are giving a false info by compromising your objectivity. So the best answer is A. Why you are giving a false report? False report is integrity. Are you clear? So that was case study 3. Now we have 3 individual MCQs. So 15 MCQs of 2 marks each. That's how 30 marks. So if you give me a proceed, we will proceed. Can I get a proceed? Okay. BCD Limited is engaged in manufacturing of electronic components. During the audit of FS, the auditor assessed risk of material misstatement of revenue and inventory balances. While designing further procedure, wants to perform test of detailed substantive combination. Auditor noted that reliable data was available and relationship between sales volume and revenue was historically been predictable. However, certain unusual fluctuation occurred. Auditor exercised judgment and decided in doing the substantive procedure to reduce risk to a acceptable low level. Which essay came to your mind when you heard this much? Ma'am, which essay you say? Da. Perform further audit procedure 330. Why? To reduce risk to an acceptable low level. Okay, so what's the answer? Which of the following correctly? You see whether the option they are asking is correct or incorrect. At times they ask which is incorrect, at times they ask what is correct. Substantial analytical procedure must be always used instead of test of detail. Array, you cannot substitute that. You can't say analytical must be always used instead. No, TOD gives the most sufficient evidence. Auditor must decide whether to use test of detail substantive based on judgment regarding effectiveness of reducing the risk to a level. Substantive analytical can only be used when control risk is assessed low. No, nothing like that. Test of detail is mandatory irrespective of auditor's judgment. See, test of detail is done, but it is based on judgment how much to do. So which is the answer? So auditor has to decide based on the judgment what to do. So answer is option B. Essay 330 says performing TOD, performing analytical combination of both based on your judgment. Second last question, come on. Actually, without even reading, if you read the last sentence, you'll understand. Which of the following statement correctly reflects application of materiality as per 320? See, company having turnover 500, R determined materiality in planning stage. He identified individually and aggregate material misstatement. He wanted to reevaluate materiality. So it's something related to materiality SA 320. Materiality is determined only in planning, cannot be revised. So in the event of becoming aware of a fact that would have caused the auditor to fix different materiality initially, auditor shall revise. Ma'am, what are you up to? I'm saying this sentence in 320. So whenever you come to know a fact, you will revise. You can revise. This is wrong. Only individual materiality. How many times we said individual and aggregate? Materiality is there in planning, performing, evaluating. Seems to be correct. Once management refuses to correct, auditor must automatically issue qualified opinion. If management refuses, you will go for TCWG, SA 260. Then only you will go for audit report. So answer is C. I always say to the students, there will be question from AS, at least one question, AS or law. See, this is from your accounting standard, I guess. Yes. Okay, read. A Limited is engaged in manufacturing operations, significant work in progress. Auditor evaluates measurement of stage progress, basis of estimates, cost elements, etc. Which of the following audit observation inappropriate valuation of work in progress? See, work in progress means inventory. If it is reporting requirement of inventory, then which one will come to your mind? Here I'm not asking, okay, I'm asking you generally. If the question asks you reporting requirement of work in progress or inventory, then CARO clause 2. If they're asking about audit procedure, audit evidence of inventory, SA 501. If they are asking about valuation of inventory, like here, it is something related to AS2. So various stages. So they wanted which is inappropriate. Inappropriate means incorrect they wanted. Correct, Meenakshi, sweetie. So which is incorrect? The various stages of production addition measured where estimates are made. Base of such estimates is understood. They wanted inappropriate. Inappropriate means which is incorrect they wanted. See, they wanted which is inappropriate. Overheads included work in progress based on method consistent with costing and financial data maintained by the entity. Auditor has ascertained the element of cost. Material costs include abnormal wastage. See, material. As per AS2, it will include cost of materials, overheads, however, and all the incidental cost to the present condition. However, abnormal cost not include, exclude. So which is wrong? It is, yeah, B. No, no, no. Answer is D, D, D. You are right, D. So that's it, guys. With that, we are winding up the MTP 1's MCQ. Yo, and I'm not sure whether you guys know, I have completed full RTP, including descriptive. I've completed MTP 2's MCQ. I've completed MTP 1's MCQ also. I've discussed few integrated MCQs. Yeah. So that's it from my side, guys. We'll meet maybe two more sessions. Just BGM. Okay, we'll meet maybe two more sessions or three. So keep going, guys. Let's meet in the success meet. Okay. So that's it from my side. Tata, and thank you for joining and being so interactive. Okay. Tata, bye bye. You can leave.